Don't nick any of them.
Right, so you go onto the guppy's eye, and you are now resting up and taking off the beverages and the delicious food of the pot that's normally slung above the fireplace. Killian hasn't got any random fish to dip in it this time and consume. And please, everyone, assume that you take a long rest. So any damage that you have taken, please heal yourselves.
You mean the damage I took from the druid?
Yeah.
I don't think anyone actually took any damage other than when you dropped a torch on someone's head.
No. I took over half my health in damage from shattering ice knife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got damage.
Yeah. You need to.
Yeah. Back up.
You need to heal back up. Charles, I think, was clear of it.
Yeah, because I think somebody...
Yeah, I was completely fine.
Yeah.
I think Jackson got annoyed with somebody.
Yeah, he dropped a torch on my head, missed me, and hit you.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think he dropped something on me, but aimed for somebody else.
So it is a dawn time. Day comes, and you alight from the guppy's eye, and stand in the square. You can see the start of the day beginning. The fishermen opening up the large warehouse type building across the square from you, opening up both sides, and you see right through into the little harbour, and you can see people going into their little boats, loading up, making their way out to sea for fishing for the day. And you sense that they're doing this with us. When you first saw this happen, it was a lot kind of grimmer, lower spirits. You can see people smiling, and then people, instead of just glumly passing someone a crate, they might chuck it a little bit here and there, or toss bundles. And there's even some sort of singing among some of the people, singing or humming a shanty as they load up for the day to travel out for the day's fishing.
Oh, we're going to have to come up with a shanty for this town.
I have an accordion. I nearly wrote one for this campaign. I nearly wrote something for what's her face, the gnome, your gnome friend. It's gone out of my head what her name is. Taj Hootsley.
Taj wants to join in with the shanty.
Taj would lead the shanty, I'm sure.
Yeah.
She's on the boat.
So, we going down for breakfast? I'm going down for breakfast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Food.
Can I ask? What I can't remember what we actually agreed about. They were asking about whether we could hire out our crew. What did we agree about that? I can't remember.
We need to have a chat with the crew.
Yeah, we said yes as long as the crew agree.
Oh, okay.
No, well, we haven't actually gone back to him with a counter offer yet.
I know, but when we all discussed it, we were like, yeah, we were good with that.
Yeah, we think it's quite a good idea. And if he wants to use the crew at all, then I think they get a share of what?
And we get a share of their share.
Yeah. So maybe we get 1%, they get sort of 9%, and he gets 90% or whatever.
Yeah.
I prefer 15 and 5 myself, but yeah.
Well, whatever we can negotiate for.
So, where are you heading for breakfast? What are you thinking?
Well, I was going to hit downstairs in the inn for breakfast.
Yeah, I was just going to go down to the tavern, and then I'm going to the shop.
Okay. I assumed that you stepped outside and you were checking out the square outside. There is a small deck outside, so you could eat out on the deck if you wish.
I'm going to wander out into the square and see if there's anywhere I can get some really strong coffee, because we've had a hell of a couple of days, and I think I need some coffee to.
Some sort of brew.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, you see lots of people walking around. Make a perception check on the guys over at the.
So
22.
Very low.
22. Yep, you see that there is some sort of hot beverage that the folks are walking around with, sipping.
So I'm going to go over to them and I'm going to ask them where they've got this lovely hot beverage from.
Good day, Lady Elf. Yeah, we go ahead to the herbalists,
Ooh,
which was initially where you were heading.
that's where I was going anyway. So I'm going to wander over towards the. I'm going to say, "Thank you, kind sirs. I did plan to go to the herbalist, so I will head there now and get a cup of that beautiful brew for myself." And thanking them and nodding to them, I walk on my way towards the herbalist.
Yep. So you head over to Miriam's herbalists, and there is actually Miriam standing outside. There is a small line of people queuing up, and she has a cauldron outside on a little ring of stones with a small fire burning underneath. Night owl, sleep well.
Right, go on.
And there is
Say bye.
she
Bye.
I love you.
Love you too, Ali. I'll speak to you soon.
Right,
go to bed.
go.
Good girl.
Good girl.
She has
Bye.
she has a ladle, and she's ladling out into these ceramic cups, no handle, just sort of very simple little bowl type, almost just like a small bowl. And that's the things that they had their drinks in at the harbour also. And she's ladling it out, and she serves a few people in front of you, and then you're at the front of the queue.
Good morning, Miriam. I understand you've got some delicious beverages. How much are they, please?
One of these
Mhm.
is going to be 5 silver.
Mm-hmm.
It's expensive, but it'll do you good for the day.
So I hand over the money and say, "Thank you very much. I'd like 1 cup, please."
She,
Can I ask what it is? It smells delicious.
I can't tell you what it is, my sweet, because that would be giving away my secrets. But I can tell you that drinking this now will give you a great advantage for the rest of the day. So what it actually does is it on your next, anytime you have to do a check or a save, you can reroll. You get advantage, but not on an attack or anything like that. It's just on a constitution save or a constitution check, something like that. You're going to have advantage on those, not on attacks. Okay, if you consume it.
I will be consuming it. So I
you
give her the
drink
money.
the beverage, give the thing back, and you gain that benefit for the day.
Taste of aniseed.
Aniseed and lemongrass.
Interesting.
And you down it to the bottom. There's a small remnants in the bottom, and she says, "If you cross my palm again, my sweet, I could read those for you."
And how much would that be?
Just another silver piece, my sweet.
Okay. And
So this seems very creepy.
Yeah.
So she takes the silver coin, places it on her palm. Then she places your cup upon her palm on top of the silver coin. No, she's reading your tea leaves, not your
my
palm.
tea leaves. Sorry, I thought you read my palm.
No, she looks at the stuff in the bottom and she says, well, now that is interesting. You will meet a new acquaintance today. Someone who you've not met before. Someone very different.
Different.
You may also get wet.
Harbour, of course I will.
And
We're going fishing.
but I'm unsure what that means.
What's that?
Well, it either means fortune or death. but
Who is she? Professor Trelawney? Seriously?
I think even Professor Trelawney actually gave a proper prediction at least once.
Well, thank you very much. And she removes the cup from her palm, but the silver piece has gone.
Oh, clever.
Thank
The
you, my
jewel-
sweet. I'll open up shop proper a little later on if you should be interested in buying anything from inside. I just
I
do
will
this
come-
for the local boys and girls who are going out on the boats.
I will come back and have a look around your shop a little bit later, if that's okay.
Lovely, cool. So now we're going to jump
Thanks
to
very
Jack.
much.
We're going to jump to Jackson and Jackson and Dante and Killian.
Wait, where are we? Sorry, I was up dealing
We're
with
in the inn.
We're
I'm
in the
eating
inn,
breakfast.
having breakfast.
I just look at everyone and go, right, last time I tried to go shopping, you all interrupted. I'm going shopping.
Okay.
Okay.
Anyone
Let
want a
the
cup?
girl shop.
No,
Let's
I'm
go.
all right at the moment.
Anybody want a cup?
I'll come shopping.
Cool.
You're at the herbalist.
You're
Yeah,
getting
you're at
coffee.
the herbalist, so you've gone round the corner.
I'll
You're
come
at the
with you.
Mermaid in Starbucks.
I'm a herbalist Starbucks.
Yeah,
Um,
kind of sounds like
To remind me from last time, the foreman explained to Charles on the map where we needed to go, didn't he?
yeah, 2 nautical miles out.
That was fine. That was all I needed to check. So yeah, I mean, once I've had breakfast, I'm good to go. So if there's anything you guys want to do in town,
So Dante and Killian go to Davel's. There is no out her lunch sign now, and it is open.
Davel.
Davel's, yeah,
Push open the door and walk in.
yeah. You go in. It's it is a sort of standard sort of goods shop. There is lots of things hanging on the wall, lengths of rope and accoutrement for fishing. Although these are the smaller items, not the larger items, because you've been told that there is a sort of fishing supplies shop further down the way for bits for boats and things like that. If you were to upgrade pieces to your ship, that would be further down from where you are towards the harbour proper. And you walk in, and there is a chap behind the bar, behind the counter, just idly polishing a glass float.
I wave at him.
Good day, sir.
Yeah, good day. I would like to buy some weapons.
Weapons, you say?
Yes.
Well, we have a few. What is it you would like?
Have you got any darts?
Darts. Let me have a look. And he rummages beneath his counter, and he says, "Yeah, we've got a few here. How many would you like?"
How many have you got?
Well, um, 30, 40.
40.
40
How much is a dart?
They're 5 copper.
I'll take the lot.
Okay.
Are they shaped like miniature, like small throwing knives?
They're shaped more like as he hands them over to you, you realize that they're sort of hand done for the fishing industry. It looks like it's by some craft person within the town, and each of them has a little a fly on it like a fishing lure. So all of them have little feathers on like a fishing lure.
So they're throwing knives with feathers on them.
They're small little metal darts, but with little feathers on that look like they could be used as probably a quite effective fishing line as a hook type thing as well. So yeah, please minus that from your inventory, please.
I'm trying to think of how much that is. So that's 5 coppers times 40, which is
you got a bargain.
I'm just trying to figure out how much it is. My maths is not going well.
So it's 8
It's
silver
2
if it's 5 to 1.
It's 200 copper.
So that's 2 copper.
Divided by 10, isn't it? That's the way you do it. 10
Yeah.
copper, 10 silver.
That's
So-
2 gold. That's not bad.
Yeah.
Liking that.
So you take those darts from him, and you're standing in there looking around the shop. Is there anything else I can
Has
help
he
you
got
with?
any other items, any armor or weapons at all?
He has with him. Hold on, let me get to my desk.
Does he have any daggers? I'd like some new daggers.
Some new daggers.
Yeah.
Let's see what he's got.
While all this is going on, can I wander round? I've left
Yeah.
the herbalist now. I'm wandering round to join you all.
Yeah, he's got a couple of daggers.
How
Just-
many?
He's only got 2.
What do they look like?
They're just sort of a simple dagger, probably more used as a. You probably think it's more like a filleting knife, more sort of multi-purpose type thing for gutting fish. So where you're going, quite fitting.
You know, I could just hand you one of my 4 daggers that I have now, which I no longer need because I've got 40 darts that I can throw at people.
What do your daggers look like?
One of them's quite a nice dagger. The other ones are all cobalt swords that are just small enough to be daggers for humans.
That would look
Oh,
really
yeah,
funny.
yeah,
A full-sized lizard holding a tiny lizard dagger.
Thanks. I will have the nice one and one of the tiny little ones.
I hand over the 2.
Deville looks quite offended that you're doing this in his shop.
Friends.
I then
So,
buy one of his filleting ones to make him feel happy.
yeah.
That's 5 then, please, good sir.
Okay, I give him the money.
Okay, cool. 5 gold that is.
Oh no, I'm not giving him 5 gold.
It's 5 gold for a dagger.
Seriously.
Yeah.
What does the dagger look like? Is it fancy?
It's a filleting knife. It's very sharp. Cut through bone and sinew and fish.
Fine, he can have that.
Okay.
Does he have any like armor at all?
Doesn't look like he's got anything that kind of.
That fancy?
No.
I think
It's
I'm
only
good.
quite a small fishing port, really. Not like
Mhm.
Kyler.
All right, that's all I required.
Wait.
Oh, actually, I need to buy some bits of leather. I'm going to make like a belt and a bandolier, and I'm just going to have, because I've got like 30 random throwing knives, like a bandolier of them, a belt,
Good idea.
Yeah,
and I'm going to put them. I'm going to hide. Literally, I've stood there just tucking knives into like, every nook and cranny I can find.
You do also, if I remind you, you do need a water skin of sorts.
Mhm.
Yes, I would also like to buy a water skin.
2 silver pieces of water skin.
How about I give you a knife and just like, offer him the knife? Yeah, just.
He does not want it back.
I grumpily give him his money.
He has a large sheet of leather, suitable for making like a waistcoat almost, with enough fabric to make that. And he says that's 1 gold.
I will
Does
buy
he
the
know
leather.
anyone who could make it into a bandolier and like a belt
Hold
or
on.
like a waistcoat with lots of pockets?
Is there any,
Make a wisdom check.
I was thinking, is there any, who's on the boat?
That's what I'm just making him make a wisdom check for. See if he knows who it was without him RPing.
I don't do very well on that. I
Okay.
remembered who it was, but Dante does not.
Well, no, if you remembered it in yourself, then
Yeah, we've got an artisan and a dwarf who seems to be able to make things.
yeah, you assume there is someone that can craft it, and Killian's just offered to buy it for you.
I will buy it
Thank you.
in trade of the daggers that you gave me.
I say thank you.
So
Oh,
there you go.
nice.
There we go. So, is that all? Is that all good, sirs? And good dragon, sir.
Sorry, when's that going to meet in a Laffy Taffy?
I think so.
Sticky. It's like
Is there anything
Killian's
else?
eating a Laffy Taffy, like.
Killian's always eating.
I know.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's
Really
Dragonborn.
good.
Come on.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything else that we need.
Is there anything that we need for the boat? Can you remember?
I do not remember us needing anything, no. But I think soon we're going to have enough money that it won't really matter.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, is there anything that we should get while we're here, just in case we don't end up back here?
I was going to think about buying Charles a new set of armor, but obviously this guy doesn't stock
That's
armor.
what I was thinking as well. I did cut it off, so it's only fair.
Don't we need some paint to name the boat? We've still not named the boat.
Yeah, they did.
Jackson's just
The
like,
boat was part of the deal that Jackson brokered with the guy. He said he would get the windows and everything fixed and the boat polished and everything
And named.
before you left if
Okay.
you agreed to selling the submarine.
No, that was he was doing that as a sweetener because he'd already assigned people to.
Yeah, he'd already
polish.
assigned people to do that, start fixing that up as a sort of sweetener for the deal.
Yeah.
Mhm.
right, 1 second.
So the
we
boat
are
was gonna look
officially
splendid.
the plesiosaur slayers or something slayer.
The P
Pea
Slayers.
Slayer.
The
Is what you
P
said.
Slayer, yeah.
That's
The
it.
plesiosaur slayer. But it should now be painted on the boat now as well.
Okay, so you
Great.
you walk
Jackson's gonna
outside and you see cereals pottering round in the square.
Oh, I wanted.
Oh, sorry, good sir. What can I get you?
Oh, what is going on here?
Sorry,
Sorry, having a go at the computer.
what do you want?
I wanted something to put my weird ass crystal in.
Oh, yeah. Has he got like a big bit of wood with like a hole in the top?
You're
we
still
could put the
actually
crystal
holding
in
a
it.
tentacle with the thing in.
Right, so I.
Has he got like a metal staff or something? Or like just
Yeah,
a hole?
Yeah, that was cool.
I literally say to him, "Have you got anything I can put this in?" And just hold up the tentacle holding the crystal.
He holds his hand to his mouth, drops the glass orb on the floor, and it smashes the glass weight that you that he was polishing so delicately.
I just look at him and go, I'm not buying that.
He holds some. Looks like he holds some sick back in because you're holding this fleshy tentacle with a gemstone clasped in its ragged jaws, and there is a smell now starting to. It's an evening old now. It's room temperature or more. You
Should you be doing a constitution check for that?
Dragonborn, that's kind of like she's already eaten raw fish, so.
Oh, good. Yeah.
And,
It's me. Think about it.
so,
I lick weird stuff.
what is it precisely you need to look after there, sir? The appendage or the
The crystal.
I'm not very much trained in what would help you look after such a thing.
Have you got a big bit of wood or metal that's cylindrical and about that fat?
If not, do you know where we can get one?
Cylindrical metal. Do you wish to suspend the item or just store it within?
I want it
Suspend.
to fit.
What I was thinking is if we can get one of them, we could get the artisan to sort of drill a hole so that we could thread the crystal in again without touching the crystal, and it would sit in the sort of
That's a
holder.
good idea. Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking, like,
You were thinking of making a staff.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
That,
I
like,
like
you have it at the
staff
start,
one,
slot it in
so
the top.
it's only like this size, like
Fair.
in length.
The crystal
But
that
like-
you've got is pretty
So
heavy.
you've got wands which are smaller. You have rods which are kind of like a macy size.
How big do we
You
think-
have
I'd go rod or staff.
Rod.
Well, yeah,
the,
rod or
the
staff.
crystal is about probably 8 inches long
Yeah.
and probably about 3 in diameter. It's quite a hefty.
I love it when you measure things
Yeah,
because the
yeah.
seamstress
'Cause I'm
in
a
my
bloke.
brain. It's just like,
I imagined it looked something like that. It was just a big.
not.
yeah,
crystal.
it's like that, but probably double the width.
Okay. How big are my arms?
You're right, I'm sure pretty big. You're a dragonborn.
Yeah, so a wand, a regular size wand, is going to look like a pencil.
I'd
you
get
go
a
for
rod or a
rod
staff.
or a staff.
Rod or a
Okay.
staff. We keep saying rod and staff. Get staff.
Has anyone got a quarter staff actually?
Yeah.
Yeah. Me.
Has anyone got one?
Yes.
Me.
Well, don't bother buying anything then. Just go and get them to make it out of the quarterstaff and have a quarterstaff with a fucking crystal.
I suggested that to you, and you were like, no, no, no.
You need an armourer. It's not something that Devel can furnish you with.
All they'd have to do is drill
With
like a nice little
smithing
cradle
skills-
sort of thing in the top.
Well, assuming you give me some metal ones and a forge, I'm actually proficient in smithing stuff.
We wouldn't even need a forge. It's a wooden quarterstaff. You just need the tools to do it, I'd imagine.
You'd need to be able to carve out the top of the staff and then handle the stone into it in some manner.
You just hold the appendage and drop it on it.
Yeah.
Might take a few goes, but
We
you
can do
eventually
it,
get
I'm sure.
Okay, so you're going to take what are you going to use to carve your staff? You've got a rather nice filleting knife. Or whether Dante has.
Dante's got
I've got a rather nice filleting
really
knife.
nice.
But she also has loads of other knives that I just gave her.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, we're fine. We're sorted.
Okay,
It's all
so
right.
you walk back out of Devel's, tentacle still in hand.
I'm throwing darts in the air because I'm playing with them to check their balance.
He's a happy boy now. He has his dad.
Don't throw them anywhere near me. We don't want anybody accidentally throwing a
You
dart.
see Serial walking across the square, looking very sprightly and very full of pep.
Right, so we'll finish breakfast and he'll head down towards the boat.
Charles,
I start showing Jax my darts, going, look, see.
you
Get those. I want some of those.
you walk past.
Mine.
You kind of all meet up in a kind of come together at the corner of Estland Square, and you make your way down, and you can hear the humming of the boats, the people on the boats, and you walk down to as you're traveling down, you see the boat supplies shop.
Can I go into, have I got time to go to the boat supply shop?
You could do.
What do you want to buy at the boat supply shop?
Or the shops that the guy just went into?
Oh, yeah, Devel's.
Yeah, Devel's.
Yeah, you can pop in Devel's.
I'm going to pop into Devel's then. Hang on a minute, guys. I just want to see if there's anything that would be useful for me.
You come in. Ah, good fairy elf lady. What can I do for you?
Good morrow, sir. I was wondering whether you had a dagger that would suit an elf of my standing.
We only have these, and he shows you a knife that again looks like a sort of filleting knife.
Looks suspiciously like one of the ones you saw in my belt.
What weapons do you have, sir?
Well, we're not really kitted out for that kind of thing. We've got a few small daggers, and we have some like little hand axes for chopping wood.
Is that it?
Or is there anything specific you're looking for?
I'm not really sure. I just think something we have fought a great many battles, and I know we have to fight some more across the sea fairly soon. So I'm looking for something that is nimble yet deadly in a battle.
Something like what you're talking of is like a fine sword, something like a rapier, maybe. We don't have anything like that, nothing of that finery, that quality. Simple little village here, I'm afraid.
That's okay. I will take one of your small daggers, please.
There's 5 gold pieces, please.
Hand it over.
Please minus that from your personal gold.
I can't actually remember how much the coffee was. Not coffee.
You know what I
was.
find hilarious? I actually do better with darts than I do with daggers. I can deal more damage with them.
Bizarre, isn't it? So you leave the shop after. Sorry, what were you trying to get, Lou?
How much was my not coffee?
5 silver.
5 silver, thank you. I hadn't written it down.
Which was the leather?
You spent 5.5.
The leather was 1.
1 gold.
1 gold. Yeah.
I just look around the shop. Have I got any armor? I have got armor, haven't I?
You're just in your elven.
I don't think you do. You're a druid. You're not
Yeah,
allowed to wear armor.
you're not proficient with anything, so you end up disadvantaged, I think. I think you can have scale mail later. No, can't even have
You
scale.
can't wear any metal, I don't believe.
Ah,
So I think she can wear leather,
yeah.
but as far as I know, that's all.
Leather armor at the moment.
Yeah.
I'm in leather armor at the
Yeah.
moment.
As far as I know, that's the highest she can wear, unless you give her something made out of like bone or something.
Or something magically enhanced.
Yeah, like if you give her some like wooden lacquer that's been magically enhanced to be as good as plate or as good as something else.
Yeah.
So I thank him and walk out the shop.
Cool.
And I have in the back of my mind that I do want to go back and see the herbalist before we get on our way.
All right, so you're going to run up to the herbalist now. We'll get all the kind of buying stuff out of the way.
Okay.
You go up to Miriam the herbalist, and I've got to find the shop stuff. All right.
The rest of my party are looking very bored of shopping already.
I want to throw my darts at things.
I was more interested in killing the fish people, coming back and getting $4,000, and then going shopping.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
What do you want to do? So you walk back out and you've said to Jackson, I think I'm going to go to Miriam's. And Jackson suggested that to you.
Well, I'm going to go to the boat. So if you want to dick around doing that, feel free. And I'm going to head off to the boat.
I think I might have upset Jackson. I won't be long, Jackson. I'm going to head over to Miriam's.
I'm going to follow Jackson.
Okay. Where you going, kill him? Boatwards. So you walk into Miriam's, and Miriam's is behind a counter. There's a slight smog in the air as things are brewing. Hello, my sweet. I'm glad you've come back.
Hello, Miriam. I was wondering, we are...
Miriam's my mother's name, actually.
Sorry?
Miriam's my mother's name. Actually.
Oh, apologies. What's your name?
My name is Miriessa.
Miriessa. Good morning, Miriessa. Nice to see you again. I was wondering whether you've got anything that could help us in our upcoming... We are due to have another battle, I'm afraid, and we want to rid your land and others of these horrible fish people.
Well,
and I was wondering whether you've got anything that could help me.
It sounds like you might get a bit hurt out there. We have some healing potions.
I think I've got plenty of those. Anything else? Any spells or any?
We don't deal in spells, really. We deal in sort of consumables.
Anything that could maybe give me advantage and make me more nimble or stronger by consuming it before the battle.
Yeah, we've got we do have a potion of fire giant strength.
How much is that, please?
2,500 gold pieces.
Damn.
What does that do?
About 25 or so.
Yeah, it's
Permanently or for...
No, it would be like sort of 10 rounds or something.
Yeah.
That would be very useful once we've returned, but I fear until
you're going to spend over a quarter of the budget on one potion. I love it.
I fear that I do not have the budget for that at the moment. Have you got anything that's of a slightly lower price?
There are many things that we have. We have if someone is maybe a bit tricky that you meet along the way, maybe not telling you the whole truth and you'd like to know, we do have a truth serum.
How much is that?
That's 150 gold pieces.
How many gold pieces do I have?
I don't know. Look at you.
Have a look.
I don't have that in front.
It's an hour at least, Dante.
Fair.
Let me have a quick look.
I'm just muttering about the best ways to take giant strength potions and what you could do with it.
Oh god, hang on. It's just lagging like hell. Inventory, equipment. Money.
As you walk down towards the harbour, I'll come back to you, Sarah, in a minute.
25 gold.
How much have I got?
25 gold.
25. You just got into a shop with no idea what you're going to buy. No idea how much money you got. Lovely.
Well, no, you've now got 20.
I normally shop.
19 and a half gold.
19 and a half with your minuses.
Have you got anything for, say, 15 gold?
We have sprigs of mistletoe. They're 1 gold piece each. We have herbalism kits. They're 5 gold pieces. And that's about it that's in your budget. Oh, we got a couple of just like plain wood rods. We haven't done much with those yet.
I'll have the herbalism kit, please.
Okay, so that's 5 gold pieces, please.
Thank you. I'll hand it over.
Thank you, my
As
sweet.
a suggestion, Lou, you might also want to look at something like a healer's kit.
And do you have any healers kits?
We do not.
Oh, I can't buy them. I'm gonna add, if I can find the damn thing, herbalism kit. Aren't I proficient in that?
You are, but you don't have one.
But now you do.
Herbalist. Oh, I can't find it.
It allows you to make potions of healing.
I just realised none of us have thieves' tools.
No.
We ain't getting through any locked doors.
Here we are.
We got
we
Jackson.
call-
He'll just
we
go
call-
big.
He just looks at his warhammer like,
So as you're walking down to the harbour, Serial is going to come and catch up with you, you presume. Charles and you see Charles on the harbour at that sort of crossroads where you first met Cornish Daniel, outside the harbour master's office. And yeah, he looks very well and happy. And are we about to good day, chaps? Are we about to embark on this quest out to get these wretched creatures? I dreamt all night about them.
well, no, we need to.
In the boat, ready to like go.
Well, should we sell off the submarine so we don't take it with us first, and then we've got all of our money and stuff?
Well,
Somebody please tell me how to find herbalist kit on my add equipment. Because I'm trying to add it and I can't.
Just
find
go
it.
on the equipment and
Yeah.
search for it, and there will be a button that says add.
Add.
Yeah, that's what I'm
press
trying
it.
to do on the searches. So you put like
you're
add
in the
items,
equipment.
and then you go to filter, weapon, longsword. You put.
You don't
herbalist
need to
kit.
filter
Don't
it.
bother about the filter.
Don't filter.
Just search. It'll come up.
So you should have pressed the button first that says manage equipment.
Hang on.
Otherwise, you're just searching what you've got currently in your equipment.
I think that's where I'm going wrong.
Well, we can do. If we do that though, we can't have a word with the crew first. See that they're okay with the deal.
She made me book.
Or should we go and talk to them first? Quickly get
Yeah.
the okay. One of us runs off and agrees to it, and then we will
Okay.
sail away.
You climb aboard the boat. You have the discussion with the crew about whether they would care to be in the employ of the harbour master while you're away. Harsel looks a little bit sad that he has to be leaving Killian, but understands that this is a life that could be a workable thing. He could become part of this as a free man and earn some money and earn a living. And they're on the whole, they're happy with it, for the boat to be yours and for them to take a percentage of some of the
deals
smuggling and the dealing that the harbour master does,
Okay.
along with the submarine. Taj is very much up for being the pilot of a pirate submarine. This fits her sort of her aesthetic very much so, and has been practicing in the submarine while you've been away, figuring out how it moves up and down with Eluxeth's guidance and a small sort of how-to submarine book that Eluxeth is drawn up while she's been...
How-to submarine.
Okay. So we're good with the deal then?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We're all good.
I will head back to the harbour masters.
I go with him.
Okay, so you're in the harbour master's office, Jackson, and Dante, and the harbour master says, "Very well. I'm glad you've all come to a reasonably sensible decision on this. I think it'll be most profitable for us, all parties involved." Now,
has he given us a chance to negotiate, to tell him about the deal for the crew?
the percentage, no.
Oh, okay. Well, we were thinking, and you were talking about borrowing the crew.
Yes, that's right.
Well, we had a chat with them because, you know, all free people and all, and, you know, they don't want to work for free. So we were sort of thinking that you get your submarine, we get our $4,000 and the horses and the carriage and all of the stuff that we agreed.
Yeah.
If you're borrowing the crew for jobs,
yes,
they get 15% of the deal.
How about another idea? How about I put them in my employ? This will be not only of the submarine, quieter deals, more delicate negotiations that I may be making with parties that may wish to remain anonymous. But I will give them bed and board in Esterland. I own a fine set of little cottages up the way. And that we can use your ship for transport to and from here to Mindegres or one of the closer ports around the coast, maybe even a little further up to the Holy Island. Trading, you know, taking bits and pieces here and there. I will keep them in my employee, bed, board, and wage.
What sort of wage are you talking?
A living wage, comfortable.
It's a living wage these days.
He agrees to pay each of them the level of comfortable in the player's handbook.
Oh, what? You mean lifestyle thingies?
Yeah.
I think that's a good deal.
Yeah.
They won't get a percentage on my stuff, but they will have bed, board, and they will be my employed crew.
Okay. So what's in it for us? For the boat?
For the boat, for the submarine, for the boat.
No, for the boat hire. The submarine, we're quite happy to sell you, and you know, as per agreed, you know, all the stuff we talked about and things.
How does 5% sound?
10% sounds the best thing.
I say
You're
7.
not there.
I just go 7.
7?
Round when I want to negotiate.
You didn't say I go with them. You need to say I go with them. Or else you're not. Serial suddenly barges in through the door and shouts,
25!
25!
I think the fresh sea air has got to your elf friend. I'm paying you 25.
Bedboard and 5%. Well,
bedboard and should we say bedboard and 8%, and then what we'll do is we'll keep 5. We'll give 3 to the crew, and then they're happy.
Yeah, that seems fair.
8%. All right, you got yourselves a deal. 8% on whatever I make on my deals. So you would have £4,000 now for the boat. So he hands over
$4,500, and yeah.
And with his magical printing
The $4,500
documents that he has, he writes a document saying that he will provide you with the horses to get you to
the carriages and the supplies and the tents and all that stuff. Yeah.
For enough days to get you across. Well, you think will be enough. What he estimates will be enough to get you over to Southgate.
Well, we're going out on the boat in a minute to go and kill off your fish people problem. So where do you want the submarine?
If you leave it in dock, although it's still a bit of a squeeze for me to get inside.
We have someone
We
for
have
that.
we have
We have a gnome.
who has been working with a gnomish friend of ours who seems to quite enjoy it.
Would you
We'll
care
happily pilot
to
it
be
for
so
you.
kind as to leave her here with me?
Should we say yes, and then
all right with it, fine.
Yeah.
yeah?
Okay. So you go to the boat and he walks out. You'll see my boys have done a lovely job. And you walk out to the boat and you see it in the dawn light.
He actually given us the $4.5 bag of
Giving
money.
you a big sack of gold.
I beckon for his top. I keep pointing at it.
I'll just wave Jax away with that. Wave Dante away with that. Although my question is,
shirt. He's been always going on about the shirt.
He's
Yeah.
looking at
Did he give me?
the guy looks down at his shirt and he's like, I've got breakfast down me. I'm sorry.
No, Jax told me you'd give me some of your shirt.
Oh, did he now?
You did. I believe that was part of the deal.
Yes,
Mr. Jackson.
I'm sorry, Jackson.
Yeah, I'll give him back 5 gold for his shirt. Not the belt, his shirt.
Well, the belt was fine, but I'll take either.
So what are you doing, Jackson, with the...
I'm going to give him 5 gold.
Yeah.
For a shirt, for the shirt, you know, not the belty thing.
Okay.
I want the belty thing separately.
He's like, you want the shirt off my back?
Well, you could probably get a clean one if you wanted the clean one.
Well, I want the magical one.
Magical one. Mate's good.
Well, your friend here, I'm afraid, has already partaken.
I just turn and look at Jax.
I am half of the returning dagger man I used to be.
Did Jax steal my belt?
No.
I think Jax stole my belt. At least that's what Dante said.
I've just paid $5 of my money for a shirt.
He starts fingering some knives.
Have a
He took his shirt and passes it to Jackson. I don't think there's any breakfast on it. And he says, as I was saying, the boat looks lovely. We've got the name on it. And I got one of the smarter boys to write out the plesiosaur slayer. We worked out all where the S's and the L's go. We've redone the back window. Just kind of plain at the moment, but that would look lovely with a nice design on it. If you think of something, they can probably sort you out of the boat place up the road here. They'll do that for you. Now you're heading out, you say?
Well, we're hoping not to be that long. We're just going to go and deal with your fisherman problem.
Okay.
So, yeah, we'll introduce you to Taj. Hopefully she'll want to stay and we'll unhook the boat and leave you be for a bit.
Taj, you gather Taj off the boat and head introduce, and she nods and there's a kind of cordial agreement between the two of them, and she shows the book to him, the kind of instructions that Eluxeth has designed for her as a guide on how to pilot this small submarine. And they seem to they go off talking. A now topless halfling and rather piratey gnome.
I asked Jax where the strip of returning is for the returning daggers.
You lost for his shirt. You got his shirt.
I start getting ready to throw things at Jax.
You walk up onto deck.
Yep.
And you.
Everyone ready?
No.
You're greeted by a strange sight. You can see Eluxeth with her back to you, crouching down, saying, "Come on now. Come on. Come on now. Here you go. Come on. You can do it. Come on."
What's she doing?
You walk round and you kind of walk round her, and she's crouching down. She looks like you see on the floor in front of her a knot of rope and some odd sticks and some sailcloth in a heap, scrunched up on the floor. Come on.
Alexa, what are you doing?
Wait, watch. Come on. And the ball of rope rolls onto its back. And you can see that attached to it, there's like one large bolt, and then there's a button, like a sewn-on button that's been sewn to the rope, and there's some kobold teeth on it, sort of tucked into it.
That's not at all disturbing.
Have you made a pet?
Watch, shh. And then the thing kind of moves its arms or wing parts out and stretches, and its tattered little bits of sailcloth hang down from it, and it rolls a little bit, kind of rights itself, this little knot of wool, a ball of rope, and it's got like a little bit that sticks out the top of its thing, and it can't squint because its eyes are made out of a button and a bolt, but if it could squint, it's squinting with its rope form, and then it flaps a little, and then it takes to the air. And it sort of flies over to Eluxeth and perches on her hand, and then turns and looks at you. She says, "These are my friends, everybody."
What drugs have you been taking that made you come up with this?
Everybody, meet Nut.
Nut?
And this is what Nut looks like.
Can I see Nut now?
That's what Nut looks like. And that is, he's my homunculus.
Homunculus.
Okay. What's
What's
one
a
of them?
homunculus?
Homunculus.
What's one of them?
He's kind of like a magical pet made out of oddments and things. But I only had what I had around me, so rope and screws and a couple of buttons and a bit of sailcloth, and well, there you are, a homunculus.
You've made a parrot, a magical parrot, out of bits of rubbish on the ship.
I think so. Yeah, basically, yeah.
Sweet. What's Nut like? Is he friendly?
Yeah. Well, anyone I introduce him to, he'll behave friendly. He can hear you, and he'll listen to what you say. He understands common.
Mm-hmm.
But he can't speak.
Fair enough. He's made of rope.
Is he any good for target practice? and I flipped the knife I was about to throw at Jack.
And then I sort of coax him down.
He cowers him to herself and says, "No, don't you harm a rope or a string on his tiny little head."
Fine. And I turn back to glaring at Jax.
I'm going to go to the captain's office and start counting out big piles of gold.
I follow him.
So I figure that what we do is if I give everyone 1,100 gold, that leaves us 157 in the team pot.
Yeah.
There.
Okay, so that's for Charlie as well.
Oh, hang on. No, I did that by 4. So.
Can I lick it?
Lick the gold.
No.
Okay, well, in that case,
Yeah.
if we're doing it by 5, then everyone gets 900.
Yeah.
And we just have 57 in the pot, same as before.
900
Cool.
each.
So everyone just gets 900 gold.
Dante asked Jack if he can please have the strip that he mentioned.
No,
Dante asked why.
because you steal stuff.
Not from you, I don't.
No, but you steal it from our crew.
Who have I stolen from?
Her? Point at Alexa.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do. What's it
So?
worth to you?
Is it worth your life?
That's Jax's response.
Dante was being
Now,
completely
boy.
serious.
Can we leave the battles to the fish people, please? And I'm sure Jackson might loan it to you.
900, would you
Oh.
say?
I asked Jax why he cares.
Because I like to know that people I'm associating with aren't scummy little thieves.
Technically, I took it when she was a prisoner. I just never gave it back. And I've
Well,
not. She's not actually asked for it back yet.
Well, give it back and I'll give you the strippy thing.
I keep the ring.
Okay, I'll go and give Alexa the strippy thing.
I'm good with that.
Okay, so Alexith looks at this strip, and
Apparently it means if you throw daggers at people, they'll come back to it or something.
oh, okay, and she goes to work, pulls out a little like a haberdashery kit, and starts sewing it onto one of the linings of her cloak that she wears.
Can I lick Nut?
You want to lick him?
Yeah.
No. Are you okay with being licked? Just kind of turns in her hand, kind of looks towards Eluxeth and looks towards you, but doesn't say no.
Can't speak.
It just stares with its one bolt eye and one button eye at you as you lick it on the button eye.
That's cool.
You pull away, that eye's got a slight bit of frost on it. It shivers.
It's good.
Oh.
It's good. It's okay. It can stay.
She tucks Nut inside her cloak.
Nut can stay.
Okay, so
Nut, let me lick it.
the-
Nut can stay.
the boat is pretty much looking ready for setting sail, guys.
Okay, well, Charlie knows where we're going.
Sorry, say again, Jackson.
Charlie knows where we're going.
Yes, and Charles says, "Killian, with me." And they walk to the captain's office, and he says, and shows you the map and discusses. Would you tell dear Harsel this is about where we need to go? It's 2 nautical miles from here, out into towards heading pretty much directly south.
Yep.
So you tell
Yep.
Harsel gets the crew underway and the sails are
Yep.
dropped, and you start
I'm
going.
going to take up my normal position, which is up on the crow's nest.
Yeah.
Watching out.
What about you? Where are you, Killian?
I'm up next to Harsel.
Yeah, steering the boat from the back. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm just up next to him, just kind of
yeah.
letting him ramble at me and nodding my head occasionally, but like always keeping an eye on everything that's
Yeah,
happening that I
yeah.
can see. So that's where I am.
Yeah, you're sailing out. The coast is gradually sort of receding from you, and you're heading out into the ocean. True, and as you're heading south, obviously the temperature begins to drop again. It's getting colder, and there are little bits of frozen water as you're traveling out. You are now probably about 1 nautical mile out to sea. Is there anything you'd like to do?
Prepare.
Okay. So
I'm just looking all around to see, just make sure we haven't got any unwanted visitors on our way.
the route seems reasonably clear from what you can see at at water level. What goes on below you would not know.
Okay.
And so
If there's some sort of check, we can't.
is there?
Can we look under the sea? Can we go into the bottom of the boat and see out?
No, there's no glass bottom to this boat. This is
or glass windows underneath. No.
There's some windows at lower level at the middle deck, but they are above sea level.
Oh, okay.
Little wooden shutters, basically.
So are we going to get close and then row in the little boat rafty thing?
I think we get within half a nautical mile and then row out the rest of the way.
Hold on, someone's at our door.
Either way, they're probably going to see us coming.
Well, they're probably going to be underwater for most of it.
Speaking of that, can any of us breathe underwater? Or hold our breaths for a particularly long time?
Not really. But they come out onto land, and apparently this reef is where they live. So I don't know if they have houses or what on there.
Do we have any sort of spyglass of any kind?
Yes, Ariel's got one.
Yeah, we have the telescope.
Should we get within telescope range and see what we see?
Yeah, well,
And then we can make...
I'm still up the mast, so I can look out.
Well, I'm discussing that with the people on the bit, and then I'll yell up to you depending on the answer.
Yeah.
And I'll shut down. I've got the telescope up here. They've the crew left it behind, so we can look out and see what we can see.
Okay.
So I guess I'll get the telescope and see.
I just yell up, whenever you see it, let us know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna try and start. Is the sort of the rafty bit still in the sort of middle, in the bottom level of the boat, or they actually bring it out and take it upstairs?
it was actually the last stages of construction were upon deck because of the size of this thing wouldn't have fitted up the narrow sort of entry ways to the space. So there is the small boat is on top.
So well, yeah, basically start hooking it up to the winchy system so we can lower it down when we get ready, when we're close enough.
Yeah. Okay. So
And I'm looking out.
make a perception check, please, Serial.
Did you get any advantage for a telescope?
She's going to have lower DC for sure.
That works.
Oh. D&D keeps crashing on my phone. It's very annoying. Perception. 17.
There's as you sail out on this kind of clear morning, the waves glimmer. The swell isn't very large at all, just gradually, gracefully bobbing across the waves towards southwards, and you glimpse some way off on the horizon. You see a small black line on the horizon that you imagine to be a reef of some sort.
How far away is that?
You estimate it to be about probably about a quarter nautical mile. So you're talking how many feet? Yeah, so it's about, say it's about half a mile.
A half mile. Jackson, Dante, about half a mile away, I can make out something. I think it might be the reef.
So if we go in a bit closer, you reckon you'll be able to make out the actual details?
Yes, but they might be able to make out us.
Oh, unless they're using a telescope. Maybe not.
And even if they are, they probably saw us coming anyway. Or at least are probably questioning where the hell their friends that left are, as they didn't return like 2 days ago.
That was only yesterday.
Okay, so are you going to go closer?
I thought the plan was to get in the boat and we got half a mile away, wouldn't we? Half a mile away.
Well, I reckon we get a bit closer so you can see actually what's going on the reef.
Yeah, I don't want to turn up on a reef and there be nowhere to stand.
Okay.
So go in another, say, quarter of a mile.
So you go in, you move the larger boat in closer. You know that you will be very visible on the horizon now to anybody looking.
One of the things is someone on the front of the boat actually making sure we're not going to like hit anything that's underwater, because like if the reef's coming up and is on the surface, then the water
Flix is always on the front. Flix is always.
That's all right. We've got someone checking the plot line, whatever it is, at the front to make sure we're not going to ground ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And the rest of the crew, I think we need to spread them around the sides of the boat to sort of keep an eye out for a surprise attack.
Okay. Yeah. So you send everybody that's not steering around the boat. So the 10 family make their way in their quiet manner to one side, and Grench is on the other side.
I'll be closer to the front with Flix.
And Runist joins with Grench. Runist is stirring a pot of something. Eluxith comes up from below deck, and Charles is still below at the moment. And she's just got Nut in Nut's kind of almost like perched on her head in between her horns. Just sort of like with its wings like draped over her horns as she walks around, and you can see.
Anyone else I've seen this thing as a sort of hog rider?
you see this strange manifestation of oddments with intelligence. It's a very peculiar feeling to see things that you would know as just mundane, still objects imbued with life. And it kind of peers round and looks at stuff and begins to fly and sort of goes towards the front of the boat and is flying near Jack's, looking off. And Flix is none too sure about this other flying entity on the boat.
Weird, isn't it?
Flix is like, yeah, really weird. But then Nut kind of goes up and does that kind of thing where like that dogs do, but does it against Flix, like kind of nuzzles her. And she's like, this thing's almost like the size of her, so she's like, it's like petting a Great Dane that's trying to nuzzle you, that's been in like rolling in horse manure or something. She kind of pets it, and it seems sated for the time being, and flutters back to.
I'll sort of take half a step to the side.
Yeah, it flutters back to Eluxeth and just.
Where's Charles? Because he could always go and scout. Because if they're fish people, they're likely to be under the water or on the water. They're not likely to pay attention to stuff above the water.
Charles comes up and says, I could, but I'm. Why don't we send Nut here?
He doesn't talk.
Very well. I see your
Oh,
book.
Flick.
He can write. I've taught him to write. Alexis says.
So we could send Nut as a spy, and then he could come back and then write down. My God, that looks good. I'm being distracted by a hot chocolate. That looks so good. And then he could come back and write what he's seen. So why don't we send Nut out as a little spy?
Send both and like sort of see what both come back.
Okay.
How big's the reef?
You make it out that you can sort of see it now more clearly. You can see it extends some way out underneath the water. Then there is a large black protrusion sticking up that one side sinks in, and there seems to be some sort of flattened area on one end of it.
I'm just going to turn to Keel and say, don't lick to point at the big black protrusion.
Flick, Nut, would you mind going to scout the reef for us? Flick, if you can go to the west, and Nut, if you could go to the east. Try and remain hidden if you can. Don't draw attention to yourself, and then come back to us and let us know what you find. Is that okay?
So they take off. Flicks and are you slowing the boat now? Are you stopping the boat, dropping anchor?
If we make out stuff on the island, then we want to be stopping the boat.
So you stop the boat, drop the anchor, drop the sail, and these two small flying entities fly off. Flicks in a sort of fast spiraling motion as she normally does, and then Nut in this kind of rather awkward flapping motion. But once they're maybe 30 feet, maybe sort of 15 feet away from you, they become very hard to see. They're so small, these things, that they are difficult to see as they fly off. So you think you've made a good choice in not sending the giant bird man up into the sky to circle above an island. And after a few tense moments, Flix returns. And Flix says, to the east of the so as you're looking south, obviously, at this point the boat is facing south, so to your left is east. Does that make sense, guys, as you're heading down?
Yeah.
And right is west. And she says there is an island and a plateau on it. It extends quite a way out. I don't think we're going to be able to get this boat much closer. The smaller one might fit, might not bottom out. And there seemed to be, I couldn't fly that far without getting too tired to be able to come back. But it seems that there was someone patrolling on the shore there.
Near the island or on the main bit of the reef?
They were in the shallows.
The shallows between the east coast and the island?
The shallows between the peak that sticks up out of the water that you can make out from here, into the shallows that go out underneath the water. There's a small bit of rock that is flat and out of the water. He was just at the sort of shore of that part.
Okay. So we're going to lower the boat?
Then all of a sudden you hear a boom against the sail, the drop sail, and it's Nut's return, but kind of lost his direction a little bit and kind of hit into the sail, drops and rolls on the floor. Alexa picks him up, and she takes out of her pocket a piece of charcoal and just forces it into one of the knots. And then he starts writing out on the deck. And she says, was there a way in? Is yours a tick that you saw? Tick. How many guards? Is yours a 0?
Okay.
Anyone on guard? Anyone wandering about in some shallows?
He went to the west.
So if we go to the west and approach that way, there's no one there.
So basically, the west is the coast we need to be heading towards of the reef. Because
Okay.
it's not. There's a way in and there's no guards. So I vote we get into
A little
five
boat.
of us plus Alexis plus not go into the little boat, and the rest of the crew stay in the big boat and stay in guard.
So you think that the boat is going to probably take, it will take you guys, Jackson, Steriel, Dante, Killian, and either Charles or Eluxith.
Bring Charles.
I think Alexis, and if she can carry not on her head, then we've got an extra.
You kind of Luxus go in the boat with us and Charles fly.
Charles could do aerial support. Yeah, he could fly up. He can stay in the air all day, Charles.
Okay, let's do that.
I struggled last time.
You struggled to pick up Serial.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah.
I was like, really?
Just normal flying, he can actually stay in the air as long as he wants. Our corridor. Cool. So that's it. So you climb up, you mount up. Anything else?
I'm guessing I'm rowing.
Okay. So you start rowing. The last time you were in a small boat, you had a very cold tail. And Charles
Don't remind me.
unfolds his wings from the layers of his robes.
Oh, is Charles getting naked again?
No, he's had a
God.
Luxeth alter his clothes
Oh, okay, cool.
because there's like a slit where his
Taking lots of measurements.
yeah,
I bet.
and Charles can spread his wing.
Twinkle in your eye.
I love that you think they've got a thing going. It's really funny. And so yeah, he spreads his wings and soars up, and they all jump on board the boat.
Does he now?
Yeah, you get a wonderful view up his cloak.
We're not looking.
Wonderful.
One of us
Purposely stare at the sea.
Alexis watches as you fly up in the air.
A small thing in her hand, a small like
mirror.
piece of metal. No, a tiny piece of metal and a cog.
Is it reflective so she can angle it to get a good
and she's fiddling with this tiny cog, and Nuts seems to be looking at it.
Pair of them are looking up at Charles then.
Yeah.
Cog. Yeah, that's the word that we were looking for. Cog.
Cog. And you start rowing towards the island.
Yeah.
Okay. Make a perception check, everybody.
I won't because I'm looking the wrong way.
Yeah.
Sorry, I went and made myself a hot chocolate and didn't even ask if
It's all right. Charles didn't see anything.
No XP for you tonight.
Nick, 19.
What am I doing?
19, actually, yeah.
Perception, please.
No, that way. Three.
And you don't see very much. Serial and Dante, you notice as you're rowing, you take a peek over the edge and you see the reef below you drop down dark black rock, sinking lower and lower and lower. But you somehow make out through the distortion shapes moving underneath the water. And they move close to the rock and then vanish as they get close to it. So you assume that there is some way underneath the water to make your way into this place.
None of us can hold our breaths for too long.
I think we explore the top. If there's an entrance up there, we'll take it. If there's not, we'll come back.
I think we still need to. Yeah, I think we need to head towards that west coast.
So you carry on rowing, and you move round to the west of this outcropping from the sea. Make a. I'm going to say a dex check, Jax.
Okay. 16.
As you're rowing, your oar suddenly comes into contact with rock, and you manage to sort of slow the boat enough before it catches on these black jagged rocks at the point just before you're going to cut a hole in the bottom of the boat.
Okay.
This is about as far as you can take the boat. If you jump out now, you're all going to be probably up to your chests in the water.
Is there something that we can sort of tie the boat to, or is there an anchor on the little anchor on the boat?
Get off, Toby.
You think you could lash it to one of these spikier outcroppings that are around?
Or
I think we need to tie the boat up then and get wade into the water.
I'm thinking that is it possible, rather than rowing it closer, to try and sort of pole it, use one oar as a sort of pole and try and pole it closer?
Okay.
I think we're just gonna have to get wet.
I think we're going to have to get wet, and I don't want to damage the boat because we need to get back again.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know Jackson's not very keen on being in or on water, but it's not like he's a bit taller than the rest of us. You only have it up to your sort of midriff, where the rest of us are going to have it up to like our chests.
Okay.
Okay, so you're climbing in?
So I'm going to put the boat up. I'm probably, if there's enough rope, I'm going to probably try and hook it on a couple of different rocks to try and get it to not move. Ideally, so it doesn't move around and just sort of batter itself on the rocks.
There's ropes and stuff in your packs, so you lash the boat to these spiky rocks and start proceeding. Quite slow movement at this point because you're up to your waists in the water. And as you're moving closer, you make out this like large outcropping in front of you, like a black spike sticking up out of the water. That's got a steep incline this side on the west. And as you've been told, there is a drop the far side and a kind of flat plateau the other side of it.
Question. Yeah. Where we were looking out and we could see the possible fish people disappearing underwater.
Yes.
Is that on the same bits where we're coming in?
That was kind of to the north. It would be to the northwestern corner, if that makes any sense. As you were kind of navigating to the west of the island, you saw that on the northwest corner.
And we're now in the water on the west side,
the west shore of it.
Yeah.
So how long did it look like until we could actually sort of be out of the water?
You've probably got about 30 to 40 feet more to kind of get out to sort of knee level, you reckon?
Okay. Keep a close eye out because they come from under the water. I'm actually going to pull out my quarterstaff because I kind of figure I can stab that into the water rather than trying to swing a hammer at them.
I get my new dagger ready, but I have it in my hand so I can still kind of wade.
I've got 2 of my darts.
Get my daggers ready.
And start making the way.
Why has Killian got suddenly become like a American pop star?
Because I've had hot chocolate.
It looks as if Nut just kind of hovers above Luxeth.
Are we leaving them on the boat or are we taking them with?
We're taking with.
Okay.
And she pulls out a crossbow from her pack
Of course.
and is sort of aiming it towards the shores, keeping an eye on the horizon, walking forwards.
It's actually one of the best weapons to use in water.
That's why she just pulls it out of her pack. I was like, gosh.
And you proceed towards, you reach this kind of steep piece of rock that's probably about 10 feet in width, and you're up to your sort of knee level in the water around this side. It's black and quite sheer heading upwards.
Nothing wise on this side.
You see nothing from this angle.
So
I'm gonna stick my head underwater and just see what I can see underwater.
Okay, so you drop a little further back from the crew that you were with, and you look underneath the water. And which way are you looking?
Northwest.
So northwest. You glance towards the direction slightly off from where your boat is, and you see you've got dark vision, haven't you? Yeah. So you see in your dark vision in the very deep water something large and slug shaped vanish down away from you and sort of towards where you saw the hole under the water.
Is it disappearing into the hole, or is it just swimming towards it?
It looks like it's gone out over the crest of the reef where you are.
I come back up to the water and say, guys, I don't think we can get over the rocks from above, but let's see if we can swim down and get under the rocks. I've seen a hole to the northwest of here. I think we should investigate it. And what do you say?
Are we sure we can't climb it?
You've got it's 10 foot round. You're on a shallow bit right now. You've only looked at one side of this. The 10-foot diameter, or width as you're looking at it. This kind of spire that goes up into a jagged peak.
I'm going to walk 10 feet to the left.
And you look round and you see this sort of shallow. It levels out onto shallower water. A little bit of the black rock is now sticking above the water, like a flat plateau of rock there. This is where you presume there was a guard or guards.
I sort of beckon for people to come.
Okay.
Okay.
I reluctantly go and follow Dante, although I very much prefer to go under the water. But I reluctantly go and head over towards the plateau.
Okay.
I think I sort of mutter, I think we should kill this guard before he spots our boat and warns people.
And just as you mention that, you hear a sound. It sounds like someone blowing through a conch shell.
I think they found us.
We should have gone underwater.
And then we'd be dead because we can't swim and they can.
I can swim.
You can
No,
swim.
you can't.
You can't swim.
You have
very
no
far.
swim speed.
You can swim without a swim speed.
Yeah, you just.
But we're not getting very far.
No.
Yeah, you're just at half movement.
Yeah, you're at half movement, very slow, very. And
They would run rings around us, and they can breathe underwater, and we can't.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So you are now sort of around the corner, and you're peering around, and you see no one on the beach, no one on the shallows, and you're kind of cresting around the circumference of this black spire.
They may have just seen the boat.
Yeah.
True, but how did they see the boat?
It's like only a quarter of a mile that way, and it's got.
No, I mean, so they're underwater. The underwater ones wouldn't be able to see the boat. So someone up here has seen it and blown that horn. That's how we heard it. But where's he stood? Because we can't see him.
further around.
Unless it was the slug thing that Sariel saw under the water that went and warned
Could
them.
be.
Well, I'm all for getting out onto the plateau with it, so I'm going to start heading that way.
Yeah.
And we'll see someone.
Yeah.
Tonight.
You head onto this level of black rock, and as you're looking towards the east, you see nothing. As you turn around and look back towards the spire of rock that you were kind of making round its circumference behind you, as it sticks out that way, it's very steep that way, and it's quite as steep this way. But on this side, there is a cleft in this rock.
I'll move towards the cleft.
Yeah, let's do that.
I will switch the wood stuff out for them all.
Okay. Elixith just trains her bow, and she goes. She says to Nut, "Go ahead. Tell us what you see." So it flies forwards, can fly 30 feet, flies forwards and flies back from the cleft in the rock, and she holds out a piece of parchment and does the same thing with a piece of coal, and it writes rock pool.
Entrance from above. Imagine.
Entrance from below. They're coming up from the water up onto the coral from the rock pool.
Then where are they all? Do we see anything in there? So if I poke my head into the cleft,
You
what do I
walk
see?
towards the cleft, and you see that it, as you look at it straight on, there's a kind of piece of rock that comes forwards in front of it, and as you peer in, there is a triangular shaped rock pool, and as you peer it, you see it has a great depth to it. It is deep enough to at least stand in yourself.
I head over towards the rock pool to go and stand in it.
And you climb in.
Mm-hmm.
You climb in, and as you drop underneath the water, you see that there is a tunnel underneath the water.
Is there any air for us to breathe, or will we have to swim underwater?
You cannot make out that there is any air. You see that the water level is as high as the tunnel.
Right. We don't know how far it goes, so I don't know whether that's an entrance for us to go in because we can't breathe.
You can hold your breath somewhat as a character.
I go in and I offer to swim 15 feet.
Mm-hmm.
And then if I haven't found any exits or breathable bits, I'll turn back because that's as far as I can go. But I'll be invisible the whole time, so no fucker can see me.
Okay.
That sounds like a plan.
I'm going to do that.
They may not be able to see him, but they'll be able to feel him. If
They could probably feel me, yeah, but they might give me a little bit of a chance if someone just swims past or looks down a pool or something. They might just see a ripple.
You duck under, and you start swimming along. The passage is reasonably wide, probably two bodies swimming on sort of parallel could get along inside this passageway. And you get to 15 feet, which is where you know you can only move to and swim back.
And get back, yeah.
And you do see slightly further along that there is a change in the colour of the water. You can see light further along. This tunnel's quite dark inside the black rock, but you do see light further ahead.
I swim back and I inform the others that at 15 feet I wasn't out, but probably, what was it, another 10 feet?
Probably you've just 5 to 10 feet, somewhere in the range.
Another 5-10 feet in front, the water became light. It looks like there might be a way out.
Okay, can we all hold our breath 25 foot?
You will have to make some con checks if you decide to swim that far. Unless you can think of a way to... Elixir says, Nut here doesn't need to breathe.
Send the ball of string.
But isn't the ball of string a flyer, not a swimmer?
It can fly, it can move, so it can move with this.
Yeah, and imagine it could sort of paddle.
It can use its wings as paddles.
Penguin.
We said it's like on a reconnaissance kind of
Can
thing.
you not turn into something that can swim or breathe underwater?
So
Oh yeah.
I haven't got a swimming. I can't.
not
Yes, you can't do any
I'm
swimmable
not
ones
doing
yet.
swimming
can you?
until the next level. I did think of this earlier on, but I thought I'm not allowed to do swimming things or flying things.
I just go send the ball of string.
so the ball of string goes under. Do you want it to come back, or are you going to just?
Yeah, send it to.
I'd quite like it to come back.
Yeah, so ask it to go down, see what it can see, and then come back and report.
Okay, does so. Comes back, drenched. Now,
Keep an eye out on the not towards the left, as in case they try and like come around and attack us from behind.
there's a heavy plop as he drops under the water and comes back. He's waterlogged now, so it's a lot heavier than it was before, and is struggling even more so to fly. But still managed it somehow. Writes on the paper, cavern, fire, torches, gate.
Is the gate up or down?
Down.
So can't get into the cavern.
Well, we'd have to go through the gate.
Does the gate block us from getting into the cavern, or can we be out of the water at the gate?
And stand around.
Can stand, it writes.
I say we do that and then have a look at maybe wrenching the gate up if we can, or getting something to flip a lever. Maybe there, Sarah will be able to use something like a cat or something to get on the other side and flip the levers or whatever it is that lets the gate open. I'm assuming if it's a gate, it's got holes in it.
If it's anything that I can get my teeth into, then I could be the panther again, I guess.
Well, you could become something small, get through and turn back when you're on the other side.
Right. As like a rat, you mean?
Yeah, like if there's just small holes, you could slide through, turn back, open the gate, and then we all walk through.
It doesn't have to be something she's seen.
Yeah, she would have seen snakes in her life. She's a druid in the forest. She would have seen snakes and things like
So,
that.
has anyone got any idea how we can hold our breaths for longer without taking these checks, or should we just give it a go?
We're going to do the con checks, aren't we?
Con saves. Yeah.
Dante can't think of anything, so
Well,
What was the thing that was meant to boost my con save?
how far is it?
about 25 feet.
So we can do that in a round.
Maybe just be just over a round because it's 15
Okay.
feet per round.
The 15 as a move and dash as an action.
Oh yeah, so we
can
could
get
do it.
30 foot, so we can do that in a round.
Yeah, so we do that in
can hold
6
our breath for
seconds.
6 seconds.
If you dash it, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, I do that. I jump in and
I do that.
start swimming, and then a dash.
Okay. So this is a dash underwater.
So I just fast swim.
So yeah, I'm gonna say make a con check
Are we all doing that?
for everybody that's doing it. Yeah. So Luxeth needs to do it as well.
And Lou gets an advantage, doesn't she?
Yeah, you get to roll twice, Lou,
Because of
Okay.
the tea.
because you've had a magic tea.
I thought there was something that.
15. Oh, 17 if it's just Constitution.
Constitution check. Yeah.
Yeah, so it'd be 17.
So, con saving throw, yeah?
Yes.
12.
12 in total.
Yeah, I got 13 minus 1.
Okay.
I got 15 plus 2.
17. Yeah.
I get to do it twice, don't I?
Yes, you do.
Do I add them both together?
No, you just take the highest one.
I would.
I got an actual 20 minus 1, so that's 19.
Okay, cool.
I'll have that one.
I got a 17 plus 2, so I got a 19 too.
What did you get?
Is it that one?
Yeah.
15.
Okay, so you all swim through the cave, and at the back of the pack were Luxith and Killian. And as you're climbing out, they were the last ones to be able to get their way out of the cave and go at the breath as they come above the water.
What about Charles? Where's Charles?
Charles, you left back on the boat because you could only. Charles is still
So it was
circling.
fun.
He's still flying in the air. We need some sort of method of writing to him in the air or talking to him.
Yeah. Charles
Message
is on the boat.
spell.
And you and Luxith both, after that trip through the thing, are now considered exhausted. So
Oh.
you have 1 level of exhaustion, which means you
Skill
have
check for a disadvantage.
on ability checks. Okay.
Okay.
So does
So-
Luxith.
Let's examine this
Do
gate.
you know how much I don't like you right now?
So what do we
Is it
see?
fine if we take a break for 5 minutes? Because I just need to grab a coffee or something. 'Cause I'm sitting
So
here.
you take in the surroundings around you within this space. There are rock walls, a slightly lighter colour rock than the black outside. The black seems kind of like where the sea's been wearing at it for some time. These rocks are brown, and there is a torch on a wall next to what appears to be a sort of trellis type gate that is almost like a portcullis, but made out of wood and sorry.
Lou asked if we could have a break so she could go make a coffee.
Oh, sorry. Do you want a tea break? Sorry,
Yeah.
a real life tea break. Of course, yeah. Go. Sorry.
I was just like,
I thought you meant as characters. Yeah, of course. Tea. Sorry.
I was like, yeah, there you go.
So the room you are in is a bare rock walls, sort of ruddy brownish stone, and there is a reinforced wooden portcullis type device that has been lowered down. Behind that, there is a sturdy looking door.
How big is the room?
Sorry,
How big is the room?
the room is about sort of 30 feet in diameter. It's circular, and the pool takes up the pool that you've climbed out of takes up a good sort of 5 to 10 feet of that in one side.
Okay.
Is there anything in the room that could be a trap or a danger to us or anything like that?
Make a perception check. Have a good look round.
God.
Can I do that as well?
Just one for a
Who's
start.
got the exhaustion?
Yeah, you've got the exhaustion.
So maybe someone who's not exhausted should do.
I've got +5 on perception. Maybe that's.
Yeah, you do it.
Okay. So Killian suggests that you look for traps.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, Killian.
Thank you for reminding me I had the exhaustion. That could have ended badly.
No, there's nothing.
Oh,
Can I go and have a look at this portcullis? Does it look like a lift?
I haven't done it yet.
Oh,
It's just crashed on me again. Every time I try to use it, bloody thing crashes.
Download the app, Lou. Honestly, it's so much easier when you roll.
I've got the app. That's what I'm using.
Oh,
Why is Toby staring at me like that?
because that's what he does. He's a weirdo.
What do you want, Doc? Don't wag your tail at me.
Oh,
What do you
now I've managed to go on the wrong character. Now I'm in the wrong character.
want? Oh no.
This D&D game is going to pot.
we really need to get you some just dice so you can roll them.
Oh dear.
Oh, for God's sake, I don't want that. My characters.
Literally me. All the time with my phone. No, what are you doing?
I don't know.
Have you noticed how curly Toby's fur is there.
Yeah.
I need to get
On his little trousers.
Yeah, it's so curly.
Yeah, right. Got to it.
I want to bite it.
11 after all that.
11. You look round. You see that there is some sort of like a plate or something sticking out from the wall that doesn't look like the rest of the rock. From this
Think
distance,
that
just
might be.
looking at it, you have no idea whether it's a trap or what it is.
Think that might be something.
I'm gonna pick the torch up off the wall.
Yeah.
You take
Anything
Does
happens.
somebody else want to do an investigation of that? Maybe.
I was gonna poke it with the torch, but yeah, I can. I can investigate it instead.
go over and investigate it.
18.
18.
Yes.
So you walk over and you look at this
Oh, can I look?
and you see the top of the rock looks like that. They're holes that go in.
Okay.
Sorry, what do they look like?
So it could be spears that come out of one side of the rock and shoot into the other side of the rock.
They are pointing upwards. There's like a flat panel, and like a little piece that juts out, and those holes are in it.
How big are the holes?
Varying sizes in rows.
So something could come down.
The holes are pointing up towards the ceiling.
I look at the ceiling directly above.
The ceiling is solid rock.
So
I poke it with the torch, but far enough away so only the butt of the torch is over it.
What the little plate that these holes are in.
I poke the plate.
You poke it with a torch. You see that the as the torch moves over it, you see that the holes go down and come to a point inside, and they look well worn.
I still think something's going to come down into the hole.
I put the torch back and I get a handful of water from the pool and I drop it into the holes.
The holes fill with water, and the water just sits in these holes.
Yeah, they didn't do what I thought it was going to do. Oh well. Anything else? Any ideas?
do we have to put something in?
We probably need to put something in it, but I don't know what it is. So I tried the water. It didn't work.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. Do we have to put something in the holes.
How would you test it? Think about how you can test that theory.
What about your little daggers or those little darts, maybe?
No, I was thinking.
I doubt that's going to do it, but I suppose I could. Well, I pull out one of the cobalt daggers that I've still got and jam it in one of the holes and quickly look at.
There's 3 sets of holes in 3 rows. The dagger fits in the larger of the holes. There's 4 in a row. So yeah, three rows of things with the holes in. The dagger fits in the largest of the holes, and there is a slight click.
We have to put our weapons in them.
Oh, none of my weapons are going to fit in those holes. If the dagger goes in the bigger one.
Yeah.
Are we
Make
working?
a wisdom check, Killian, because you're thinking about this in the right sort of way.
Oh, but do I get disadvantage?
You do, but you're thinking about it in the right way. So you're going to get a lower DC.
There's definitely stuff that needs to be put in there. How many fingers did the fish people have?
Aren't they web?
Web.
Yeah.
11 and a
9.
9 with no plus.
That's with the plus. So I've got a 12 and a 9.
Okay.
That's a 9.
You put your hand to your mouth and you tap, thinking.
I'm gonna put another dagger in another one of the holes after that one clicked.
You want to try and get the dagger out, see if it comes out easy enough.
All right, yeah. I try and yank that out. Does it come out?
It comes out.
I put it back in. Do I hear the click again?
You hear the click again.
All right. I try all 4 holes with the same dagger.
It goes click, 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 click.
Okay, I get one of the daggers that Dante gave me and put it in one of the other holes.
Click.
What other weapons do we got?
I've got plenty, so I take 2 darts and put them in the 2 middle ones.
They don't make the right click. They slide down. They don't click.
I take them back out.
Do
So
you-
we need actual daggers.
Do the darts fit in any of the other holes?
Yeah. Do the darts fit in any of the other holes?
They look like they would probably fit in the smallest of the holes. The smallest.
All right. I put 4 darts in the 4 small holes.
There is a click, and the gate behind the portcullis becomes ajar.
Okay.
So big one's portcullis, little one's gate. What the fuck does the middle one do? And what fits in there?
What about arrows? Do any of us have any arrows?
I'd put an arrow in them. I'd try and put an arrow in the middle one.
Oh, an arrow. What's her name?
I've got loads.
Yeah, okay, you put an arrow, you put 4 arrows in to the 4 holes.
Do they fit in the middle one?
They fit, they click, but it's like the lock's already been undone.
Okay.
Okay. Has anyone got another dagger or 2?
I do.
I do. So we can both put a dagger in each.
You put them into the 4 big holes, and the combination, the lock's already been undone.
Right.
So we've unlocked the door.
You need to get past the portcullis.
If we pull up all of the stuff that all the weapons we put in, what happens?
The gate doesn't shut again.
Cool.
So we
All right,
take
I put all my weapons back.
Yeah.
And I look at Jax and go, "Isn't getting through wooden things your specialty?"
I will always go and have a look at it. Does it look like it lifts up or pivots or sort of wings? What
Make
sort of
me a investigation check.
investigation?
Yes, please.
I think Jack is very good at investigation. He's at +0. But I rolled a 16, so 16.
It looks like it slides up into the ceiling somehow.
Is the torch lit?
The torch is burning. Yes. That's how you saw into the holes better.
Just as a sort of, I mean, how big are the sort of the squares in the thing? I mean, are they sort of I can get my hands in and try and lift it type thing?
Yeah, you could easily get. You could get your. They're about the width of a human hand, so probably you could get 2 fingers, and your a pole between the fingers like that kind of thing. If you wanted to have a go.
How sturdy does it look? I mean, if it's wooden,
It looks very well made.
is it solid wood kind? Is it, or is it poles that are lashed together, or what?
As you look at it, you now with your investigation check, you realise that it's big, heavy planks of wood, and on the back side of it, it is got iron pieces to it that are bolting it together.
The wall sconce that the torch was in, what was that?
The sconce, it was just a kind of crevice in the rock.
I take the torch out and I look in the hole.
Where the sconce was, it's just smooth rock.
All right. I was thinking there might be a handle in there. I put it back.
The metal plate, is that the thing with the holes in?
No, the metal plate is sort of on the back side of as the portcullis comes down like this. with the cross beams across it.
Mhm.
On the back side, there's metal bolts holding the horizontal metal bolts going into it to hold the horizontal on. It's very well constructed.
If we sort of investigate through it, if I do like an investigation there, do I see anything on the other side?
So you're going to try and peer through and then peer through the crevice in the door that you've opened.
No, so I'm trying to peer through the portcullis, see if there's any like ropes or anything on the other side.
You, with your kind of knowledge of how a gate system like this works, you assume that would be on the other side of the door, which is on the other side of the portcullis.
How big is the gap?
Between the door and the portcullis.
Yeah.
You could reach it, Jax.
But I can't flip. So if I basically poke the handle of my maul through, I can push the door
You
open.
can push the door the far side open, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'll do that so we can see into that room.
Okay, you push it open and you see a long room with how can I swear? Low, wide doors either side of it.
Are they open doors or closed doors?
The doors are all shut and they are kind of like half doors. Not like they don't go to the ceiling. They're kind of only sort of up
The
to
stable
the
door.
yeah, like a stable, like you might get in a horse's stables.
Stable door. So the half door.
Yeah.
Like
Would
half-
rope ball thing fit through the portcullis?
Yes, I think it would.
Can we send him to have a look at the doors to see if he finds the lever and the rope for this
You can
portcullis?
ask it to, yeah.
Please go and look, and then come back.
Luxeth forces Nut through, and he. I'm gonna have to roll, see if he's dexterous enough.
Oh. I love how you like, what does it?
It gets stuck in the actual gate because maybe because he's swollen up with water from when he went under the water, but his body's too.
Okay, am I just going to try and lift this?
Go for it.
You are the strongest of us, so I think.
I shall assist him if that
And
gives him
what
advantage.
I want to try and do is I want to sort of put my crowbar underneath to sort of try and lift it enough that I can get my hands underneath, because like trying to lift it with a couple of fingers isn't going to work.
Do you want me to? I was gonna say, like, if you're using the crowbar and your fingers, I can push down on the crowbar while he's.
Yeah, if you can push down on there and then you can try and get your hand underneath
He's
this
already
lip.
assisting, so
okay.
yeah, okay. So Dante. So Jackson, you make your strength with advantage with the assist from Dante. You make a strength to see if you can hold it open with disadvantage with the crowbar.
All right.
Well, I rolled a 14 and that 20, so 23.
So I'm making a strength. Yeah.
You're making a strength, yeah.
Right.
23. So the gate moves up a modicum, enough to get the crowbar beneath.
Oh, I was doing it. I was going to use the crowbar to make a gap.
Oh,
Get my
okay.
hands in.
So is Killian going to try and hold it open then?
I don't know. Well, I don't know quite what. Yeah. I mean, what I figured is if you put the crowbar in, lift it enough that I could then get my fingers under, then I can lift.
Okay.
Is
so
what I was thinking.
So it comes up, and now you've got to do it. You've got to be quick enough to get your hands underneath while it's lifted. I'm guessing Dante's helping you with that. Okay, make another strength then, the standard strength to lift it.
Just a normal strength.
Yeah.
I rolled a 17, so 20.
So you managed to get it some way up.
Is it enough that these guys can sort of scoot past me underneath it?
Yeah, you've got it to sort of your hip level, but it is very,
Yeah.
very heavy.
Get underneath.
I
Quick.
duck under and go under.
You can
Yeah, I go under with him.
You might want to try and wedge something in it.
It looks.
Well, what I was going to do is see if I can find the lever. If I run ahead, see if I can find the lever for it to hold it.
Okay. You run into.
So I go through the door.
Make a perception.
I did not do well.
Can
Oh,
I not
I got
do
a 10.
perception?
I rolled a 6, but I got a +4.
Don't see the lever.
Would
Damn it.
I
my
do perception.
crowbar be strong enough to sit under the door to prop it open, to prop it up?
You could give it a go. To leave your crowbar there.
Yeah, well, I can always get another.
Well, we're gonna need to come back this way to get out.
Yeah, and that's what I'm thinking. I can always get another crowbar, can't I?
Mhm.
What do you think?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, give it a go.
Something quickly because I'm going to drop this soon.
Yeah, I'll do
Yeah, go
So
for it,
you,
Philip.
wedge it under. Go with a dex. With this.
Can't I hand it to somebody else and ask them to do it because
Yeah.
I'm going to be shit.
You
at
can
this
do
'cause
as
I'm
much as you like.
exhausted.
It's Dungeons and Dragons. Role play it. Tell them what you're doing. Saying, I'm
Right,
feeling
so-
exhausted.
Who's got the better decks?
I did, but I'm on the other side of the door.
Yeah, so's Killian. Killian's your side of the.
Oh, okay. I grab it off of her and try and shove it under.
Yeah.
Why does he keep calling me a her?
Sorry, I didn't. I just. Oh yeah, I did.
You just
Yeah,
said
sorry.
I'll grab it off her. I'm like, wait, Steve.
Because you're a her, and so I just forget.
I've got Dex +2, if that's any help.
Mine's +3,
Yeah.
and I rolled a 19.
Yes.
So it's fine.
So,
So,
you wedge it underneath, and
21.
it feels like it's going to hold.
Yeah, sort of lower it down onto that and see.
Yeah, with the combined strength of Jax and a high dex score of Dante, you managed to wedge this crowbar under. You managed to take crowbar out of your inventory, as it's now not with you. Yeah, you duck under into this room, and you.
I'm going to, assuming, have to sort of commando crawl underneath.
Yeah, you managed to get under just about. There's a small entranceway.
Before I do, when we came out of the pool, is it stone floor, sand floor, what?
Stone with some washed up sand.
Okay, I want to set my trap and then sort of try and just sort of flick over some sand over the top of it. So sort of, so if anything comes up behind us,
You're setting it at the
You'll
pool.
hear about it.
at the sort of just outside the pool.
Okay, at the pool side. Yep. Okay, fine. So that's sat there, ready to
And
go.
then belly crawl underneath the door that's only about that high.
The room that you enter, that you're all standing in now, is has a small sort of archway, probably about 5 foot wide, carved of stone. You're sort of standing in this archway that kind of contains the door and the portcullis mechanism, if that makes sense. Beyond that, there is a 40-foot long corridor, about 15 feet wide. Okay, and either side are these low doors. They reach all the way to the floor, but they don't reach all the way to the ceiling.
Okay.
And they are all down either side. There's 8, so there's 8 in total. So for every.
Are they on both
They're
sides?
both sides.
Yeah,
So
they're
it's 4
both.
sides.
How tall is the door portion? So whereabouts is the gap? Is it like 6 foot, 5 foot?
The ceiling is probably 8-10 feet. So it's a normal sort of size, maybe a little bit larger than a normal sized room in this space. And then the doors come up about sort of 3 to 4 foot.
Oh, so they're only like half the space. They're like a little barn door.
Yeah.
Before we worry about, has anyone had a look to see if there's like any footprints or, because they're going to be, anything that's come through is going to be marching sand and stuff through there. Have we got any like tracks going through this place?
Someone make a nature. No, survival, sorry. What am I about nature? Survival. Who's going to do it?
I'll give that a go. I've got
Rangers,
+4.
Yeah, Dante should really do it.
I did not do well. I got an 8.
Okay. You don't notice anything.
I'm busy marveling at my skills.
+3, can I do a survival?
I will let you make a nature check, Serial.
10.
Ken, you are not attuned to this underwater environment. You are also one of the forest and of the sort of glens and dales. This murky water place is not your familiar territory.
I'm gonna go and look through the first door on the right.
On the right. You look over this small...
Are you doing it stealthily?
Yeah. Technically, you're always stealth unless otherwise.
Roll for a stealth then.
$15.
Okay. Yeah.
So meh. I rolled a 10, but I've got +5.
You walk up the first one on the right and look in, and you see there is a steel bucket, some rocks, a small pool, again inside, actually carved into the rock, and nothing in this one, but your footsteps have disturbed something next door. There's like a on the door next to you, or on the kind of dividing panel between the two pens.
I pull out 2 darts and I just slowly lean around. No, I turn invisible and slowly lean around the thing.
Okay, as you peer around invisibly, you see a gigantic slug.
I just sort of go. I do that thing where you look at that and go, okay. Just come back, walk back to the others and go. There's a huge slug.
Right. So basically, we've got to battle some sea slugs.
Oh, can't you just like sort of poke it with a torch? Don't they just burn? How big is it? I'm gonna look around the side.
Whoa, 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 whoa. I have a bag of salt, just so you know.
He does.
Brilliant. I think it'd be a really good
I've never
idea.
seen a giant sea slug, so I was going to poke my head round the corner and sort of have a look at a giant sea slug. I mean, are we talking, you know?
We're talking rideable.
I reckon Jackson kicks the door down of the next pen, and Killian throws salt at it.
The fact he just said
It's
rideable
half
makes me
door.
think this is their stables. We've just arrived in their stable.
That's what I'm thinking too.
Yeah.
Which means we probably don't need to kill the giant slugs. Because they could be our ride out of here.
And also, when Serial went down under the water,
She saw a giant slug. And
It
there's a
was a
missing
big-
one that
black slug. And if you're in one of the stables, then there's one missing. So that must have been the one.
Serial, can you turn into a giant sea slug?
You are?
I'll check to see if giant sea slugs are on animals I can turn into.
Am I right?
What?
I would presume so, but presuming never works well in D&D.
I know, especially when it's in.
Well, is it a beast? Then, well, it depends massively on if it has a swim speed or anything.
It is a beast, and it is out of the challenge rating, I'm afraid.
I wanted to be a giant sea slug and join the fleet.
You could be maybe a little sea slug. Now you've seen
Baby
it.
sea slug.
You can be a little sea slug. You can't be a big one.
I'm all for just leaving these things here and
Yeah.
killing the fishy people. I think mainly we need to go and find Sharkface and smash him in.
Yeah, because we.
That's a good
heard
call.
it.
Are we definitely sure they're just all the sea slugs and not anything else down here?
This is it with that.
Well, we
sea
need to
slug,
check all the rest of them, but so far,
Yeah, we disturbed it, but it's not a threat to us.
well, it obviously can't get over the thing.
Yeah, it's not a danger to us in any way. So I think, yeah. If it does attack, though, I have salt.
I see no reason to try and
It's
kill
sea
it.
slug, so he swims around in salty water.
True. I can turn it to ice shards and attack it.
Icy sword. You can turn it into icy daggers sword and throw the icy salty daggers at it.
Exactly.
I like this. I like this D&D, and this is making me excited. Thinking outside the box, trying to really screw with the DM. I love it.
It was the way though. You guys are like, it's a giant slug, and I was like, wait a minute, I have salt.
So yeah, you
use
checked 2 pens.
And
guys.
I also recommend, Killian, that you don't lick them.
I won't.
Just a thought.
To be honest, the last thing I ate that came out of the sea gave me a dicky belly for days. So I
love how you're more worried about the dicky belly than the transcendental zooming through space experience that you had when you licked a rock.
So
That's why she took one with it. It's a for the night, you know.
I haven't touched any more fish, have I? But I stole one of them crystals.
Where's Killian? He's tripping balls again. He's rock.
It's like you'll just find me occasionally in my in-room, just like slumped against, not even on the bed, just against it on the floor.
with your new staff, with your rocking to one side.
So are we just going to come out, check all the stables and leave them be as long as they're closed?
Yeah.
I think so.
I think we should do it stealthily rather than as just normal.
Okay, so who's going to check out the other pens? Because Dante's a bit stompy at the moment.
Yeah, well, because I'm taller, I don't actually need to get as close.
I want to be a little sea slug, turn into a little sea slug, and I'm going to go through and check each pen.
Okay, I'm going to make you have like HP of like 2 then. And yeah, you're on a wet terrain, so I'm saying you can move 10 feet. So after some very, very long time of you guys standing perfectly still, watching a slug career around the floor into and out of each pen in succession, the slug makes its way back to you and its little antenna look up at you, and how are you communicating?
It's like I just go, is it just sea slugs?
And then you need to give me if it's 1 out of 10 for yes and 2 out of 10 for no.
I'm going to point left and right. Yes, no.
There was nothing else in any of the other pens.
Just this one sea slug.
So there's just one sea slug. There's no other sea slugs, is what he's saying.
So
Make a wisdom check, Killian, or somebody.
You just said.
So that's right. You are correct with that assumption.
I'm
That
just
premise. There is
asking
one
you to
one pen occupied.
So it's just one sea slug.
One pen is occupied.
Right.
but we can either ignore said sea slug, or we can shoot stuff over it, or throw salt at it, or throw fire at it, or throw ice at it. Or we can go
Why are we killing the poor defenseless sea slug?
I don't
We're
think it's
not.
a sea slug.
If it's a threat to us, we have a way to defeat it.
Just pour the salt on it.
Handling, can I not make it my friend, and then we can use it to get the fuck out of here later?
Wow. You're a small slug, sea slug. You think you can go and talk to it?
Yeah.
You know, I can. Never mind.
Go on, what was that?
Go
I was
on.
like, instead of wasting an entire
Wild shape.
wild shape, I do have the spell speak with animals.
Yeah, but she's already wild shaped into a
I'm
slug.
already a slug.
Okay. Continue to be a slug.
Are you climb up the gate? Are you going in there?
Oh, I'm not
Sorry?
going now.
Is Serial going in there? Serial the slug going in there?
Serial the slug is going.
Sarah the slug.
That
Slugs.
needs to be the next thing you draw.
Sarah.
I am going to be on the other side of the door, and I am just waiting for the big slug to squash the little slug. So I would like to then be able to reach in and try and grab a cereal as quickly as possible.
Okay.
A Serial the little slug is going to try and use animal handling to go and talk to not animal handling, talk to animals to talk to the
You
big
can't
slug.
cast as a slug.
Sorry?
You
So
can't cast
you
as
can
a
try
slug.
animal handling as a
You can
skill.
try animal handling as an animal and try and see if you can tame the slug.
Can I try animal handling as an
As
animal?
a slug. Yes, you can. That's an ability, not a spell.
That's what I meant.
Does she have a bonus for the fact she's the same creature?
Yeah. Yeah, she does.
I rolled a 21. What bonus do I get as the same thing?
I was just going to say that. What did you roll? 20.
21.
Yeah, you're in full like you're
Slug mode.
yeah. Basically, you kind of Morse coded to this slug, and you get the sense that this slug is a docile sort of creature. Like, will go wherever it is led, or guided, or ridden if well fed.
If well fed, what do sea slugs eat?
Smaller sea slugs.
What do you?
Yeah, anything really. Lots of things.
Do I still have that half a fish?
Probably, knowing you.
Yeah.
Fucking everything.
It'll be well old now.
Make
I've got a tentacle of that was stuck to a crystal. Remember?
Oh shit!
Right.
Please tell me you left that on the ship.
Yeah, I did. I don't have it with me.
What, the
That's
tentacle and
the
the crystal?
tentacle. Yeah.
Okay, the tentacle and the crystal are back on the boat. You've left that in the hands of Harsel.
Yeah. I
We come back and everyone's unconscious.
The boat's going to be
Doesn't
tripping
anyone
balls.
touch
I
it?
told him not to touch it and definitely don't lick it.
That's your job.
That's my job. Yeah.
You could just come back to like Harsel like this. I wasn't, boss, honestly.
Just like,
Yeah.
So I come back out from communicating with the big slug.
In
You
slow
need to ask me some questions, and I can tell you whether what I can relay the information. But because I can't talk as a sea slug, you're going to have to ask me questions that I
Can
can.
you, like, write it out in slug tail?
okay, right. So
Immediate fail.
Hold on, wait. No, listen, they've got a method.
okay, got
We're gonna write it out in slug slime on the floor.
okay.
What are you writing?
I'm writing very slowly because I'm a slug.
Oh God.
So you've broken into this underwater cave, forced the gate open, set off the alarms, and now you're watching a slug
Right on the floor.
slowly write words.
Slowly write.
Small words.
Friendly. Help us. That's what I'm going to write.
Yes, we need help.
Okay, make a dex check.
What, me?
Ariel. Because you're not looking down, you've got to kind of be dexterous enough as a slug.
What's a slug's dex?
I'm going to say a -2.
Wait. Can I, because she can't look down, can I just step in front of her, like 1 foot in front of the other, and she just follow my feet and I spell out? You don't know.
She doesn't know what you want her to say.
Damn it.
She could say one antennae up for yes, both for no, and then ask it, is it friendly?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Okay.
Okay.
Like,
Do I do that instead?
2 down.
Do I do that instead rather than me very
Ask the
slowly
question.
write out words on the ground?
Someone ask the questions.
All right. Is the slug friendly? All right, apparently it's friendly.
Will it help us? Okay.
Okay. Does it know where everyone is?
It doesn't know where its masters are.
Are we just going to go and have a see if we can find fish people?
That one. Stop being a slug now. Just yell at the slug.
So
Sarah reluctantly becomes Serial again, but glares at Dante for being rude to her while she was a slug.
The slug,
Yeah,
the slug
understand.
above the behind the panel door, where you've turned back into your elven form. You are standing near that side, and all of a sudden you feel a slimy eye come out and kind of grip round your arm, and it kind of is motioning Serial that it wants you to sort of pet it. Yeah, so,
Like friends
yeah.
now.
So you, as you reach around, you touch its eye, and it does that thing where it sucks it in and then kind of gradually puts it out again. And then it allows you to pet it.
And it will then form like this. I'll stroke it.
So let's go find some fish people.
Okay, so
And I gestured to it that I'm gonna, and I say to the slug, "We will be back." And then I sort of give it a big long stroke, and then we walk away, head out.
So at the end of the corridor, there is a large wooden door again.
Just a door rather than the portcullis, you think?
No portcullis on this one, just a large door.
Is it open?
It is a large door. No, it's not open, surprisingly enough.
If I twiddle the handle, is it locked?
You turn the handle on it, it does not budge.
Put
Do
your
we see
ear up
any-
against it. Can you hear anything on the other side?
I do that.
You listen to the door and make a perception check, Dante.
I was going to say, I'm not doing it. I suggested it.
I
You are
didn't do
the
well.
woman of ideas rather than woman of doing.
You don't hear anything.
I'm still exhausted, so I'm useless.
Can I do a perception check too?
I go, guys, I can't hear anything.
Can you not have that knife aiming in my direction, please?
Sure.
It's a bit scary.
Is there any like sort of window or they quite often have a little slot type thing in the doors and things like that?
Make an investigation, Jackson.
I rolled a 13 for perception.
You make out the sound of something moving beyond the door.
I got 10 on investigate.
It is a door that
Okay.
appears to be locked.
It is a door.
It is a door. You can see it's a door.
It's a locked door.
Did I work out whether or not it's a push or a pull door?
You believe it pushes. That's the way it gives when you put some weight on it.
I think we need to either make a forced entry and just charge in there 'cause we can hear people beyond there, or we try and enter in a stealthily way. But I think the only way of doing that is to get Dante to be invisible and quietly try and like pick the lock with something.
We don't have any thieves' tools.
We have the little cobalt knives. Can we not use those to pick
I
the
could
lock?
try and use a dart, but I don't think it's going to work.
They would be too big. You might get them in the lock if there was a lock. There isn't a lock.
So it's probably barred from the other side then.
Is there anything?
Is there anything on the wall around it?
Yeah, I was going to say, is there anything around where we are? Like, are we in a room, did you say?
You're in like a long corridor. The pens are either side. There's a wooden door in front of you.
Right, is there anything around the door that we have to, like, put our weapons into, put a torch into, like, anything like that?
Make a perception with disadvantage.
Why is it when I'm disadvantaged, I have all the
Good ideas.
Like, what? Wait. Serial, check around to see if there's anything around the door
Okay.
that may help with opening it. Jackson and Dante do it too.
Oh, Matt, they could do. They've already done some. They could do some
They
investigation.
We were checking out
I
the
got,
door.
I got 22. It's fine.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. So
Sarah, you look around, and next to this door, you see a large lever.
Do we pull the lever?
pull it. Jackson said he's the kind of guy that would hit the red button. Jackson.
So Matt's the kind of guy that hits the red
Pull it.
Actually, I would suggest we arm ourselves all with our weapons ready.
Dante steps back, pulls out an arrow, pull the lever.
We all get our weapons. So I've got my dagger in one hand and my scimitar in the other hand.
Is the lever go up or down?
It pulls down.
Wait.
Pull.
If I'm the disadvantaged one right now.
It's only on ability checks.
On ability
not
checks, so
on
not
Oh,
attack,
it's not on
things
attack.
like that.
No,
Is it?
not an
Oh,
attack,
that's
just
all right.
ability.
So it's
Right,
like,
do you want me to pull it?
a skill check.
Right.
On one level of exhaustion, it's only on abilities, and
Oh.
it gets worse as you get more exhausted.
Well, how exhausted am I?
Just one level,
One
so
point.
you're just a disadvantage.
It's like 6 levels. Admittedly, at level 6 you die.
Yeah, level 6 you die.
Thanks. How do I get not exhausted?
Have a long rest.
Long rest, or I don't know if it's long or short, but it's definitely take a rest of some description.
I'd say a short
Bloody
would
hell.
hold off going up a level of exhaustion, kind of thing. But like, yeah, okay.
Basically, night sleep.
Anyway, pull the lever.
So, okay, I would like to use my maul and sort of hook the head of it over the lever and push down with that.
Okay, you do so, and the portcullis that was previously being held up by a crowbar, you hear dong dong, and the crowbar falls to the floor, and the portcullis goes up.
Okay, do you want to go and get your crowbar?
Yeah.
You want to get your crowbar?
Yeah.
You want to get your crowbar?
If I walk into one of the stalls where there's no slug and I stick my head in the pool, what do I see?
You pop your head under the water, and you are disgusted and pull your head out immediately as you are confronted with slug feces.
Brilliant.
Did you say that I'm covered in slug feces?
You've got someone you
Little bit.
Oh no, you're invisible. We can't see it.
Little bit on the lip.
Wait, is he? Can we see the outline of his face, or like
No,
where the slug feces is, even though he's invisible?
Yeah, you're still invisible, so
Yeah.
yeah, you've just like there is like
This floating slug
yeah,
shit.
You just see me really sad walk towards the big pool that we used to get in.
face mask.
Stick my head in
of
there.
slug, yeah, like the most expensive face mask of slug feces proceeds towards you.
I get very upset, walk towards the big pool we used to get in and dunk my head in it.
Yeah, it comes off quite well. You are
And
now,
I'll tell him it'll be good for your skin. It's fine.
you saying that to now an empty space.
So are we trying to break the door? Kick the door? Knock on the door?
I come back and I go,
Did I
break
see
the damn
anything
door.
else? When I did my perception of 22, did I see anything else apart from a lever?
You saw the lever for this door, and you kind of pushed on the door, and you believe that this door is barred from the other side.
Right. So
I just look at Jax and go, smash.
Smash, smash, smash.
Jackson smash.
Smash, 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 smash.
Can you actually see the bar through the gap?
If you push on it, and Sarah looks through, you see that there is a bar across.
Okay, can I borrow a knife from someone?
Yeah, have mine.
Someone pushed on the door,
I push on the door.
and then what I'm going to try and do is shove the knife in the gap, and then I'm going to try and lift the bar.
It doesn't move.
Okay.
Get smashed.
All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start low on the door, and I'm basically with the maul, I want to try and smash a hole that at least these guys can crawl through relatively easily
Yeah, cool.
underneath the bar.
What? You say these guys? Do you mean those two, or like
Well,
our size
I'm
doors?
kind of hoping that if there's a small enough size that Serial or Dante can get through, they can get through the other side and pull the bar out of the way.
Brilliant. Okay. I was just like, "But I'm about your size, remember?" So it's like,
To be fair, Dante's not actually a whole lot smaller. He's nearly 6 foot.
I think you're like 8 foot, aren't you?
yeah, I'm
Ah,
so,
fair.
I'm massive,
You're big.
and then my next guy's tiny. It's great.
So yeah, attack roll then, please. Jack.
Attack roll.
I love
Hey, let's
it.
do this.
15.
Oh yes, damage.
How do I do it? I've forgotten.
Just for Jax.
No, you're not doing it.
9.
Sorry.
9.
9.
Not
Your
action,
wall
no.
goes in and knocks a hole.
Oh, I'm just going to literally just complete, it's kind of going into work mode of just pounding a hole,
Eventually, there is a space that you could probably get an arm through.
I still invisible now. Stick my arm through the hole and try and push the beam off.
There is a hail of spears.
They can't see my arm.
No,
So are they hailing
see,
spears?
They see the bar beginning to move
Ah,
like, in an unnatural way, and
do any hit me?
no, you're invisible.
Yeah. Have I got the
Doesn't
bar
mean
off?
we don't hit him. We were still able to hit.
Well, they're probably aiming at the bar, not at the little hole under it. There's an arm coming through.
I
Do
don't
I
know,
get the
I
bar?
think at the hole.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
would I.
But they
They're going to be, it's a very small target. You're going to have like
Yeah.
you
90
have
degree
like
cover.
5+ on your armor. Or,
And they're a disadvantage because they can't see you. So chances of them actually hitting you are quite slim.
Yeah.
you got 5+ for total, pretty much total cover. Then disadvantage on the rolls. The highest I rolled, I did roll an 18, but still, your armor class is
My armor class is 15, so that's a
15
20
plus 5,
plus
20.
5.
Yeah, no. That's it.
Do I get the bar off?
You withdraw your arm quickly.
Fair.
You
They're
don't
throwing
fancy,
things
even
at
at that
me.
randomness. You don't fancy this.
I just sort of look at them and go, they're throwing spears. Can I pop down? Can I crouch down so that I'm directly opposite the hole?
Yeah.
What do I see?
You see a table turned on its side,
Mm-hmm.
set up as a barricade.
Do I see anything over it?
You can make out some of the fish people that you've seen before in pretty much full cover.
Hmm. I stand back up and step away from the hole so that I'm not in front of it anymore and go, they've barricaded themselves in. Jax,
And they've got.
bring this door down.
Okay, I'm going to change my attack point and I want to try and basically smash the bits next to
You're going to
hinges.
hit, yeah, the hinge bits.
So I want to literally smash up the hingy area.
I was going to say, is there any way we can take the door off and kind of use it as a shield to block the four of us?
Well, if he manages to
Like,
get the hinges,
yeah.
you should be able to
Yeah.
pick it up
Is that how we'd do it?
and move it.
Yeah, so bash the actual hinges off rather than the door off.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm going to say you.
Because I'm thinking if they've got the table as a barricade, like they're behind the table using that as a barricade.
Do you want me to take pot shots through the
How
hole
do you
you
like
made?
do your icy thing through the thingy or shoot fire through the little hole?
I can take a pot shot through the hole
Yeah,
every so often,
I-
so they sort of keep their heads down while you work.
Could I do breath weapon through the hole? Is the hole big enough for me to do breath weapon
Yes.
through?
Oh God, stick your face in there.
The guys are in pretty much complete cover. You could aim at the table.
I probably wouldn't waste your breath weapon on that. Would it
No.
be sufficient if I fire the odd arrow through to stop them throwing things at us?
I think that would distract them and they would probably be in cover. Yes.
I'll do that.
While Jackson works away. So, yeah, Jackson.
Stop them throwing things, getting a lucky shot through the hole into Jax's knee.
Yeah, after a few minutes after this kind of distraction technique, the left door, the door that you weren't knocking a hole in before, you knocked a hole in the right-hand door before, the left-hand door, the hinge comes out of the rock that is formed into.
Okay.
This just says I could aim it. Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm just.
If
I
you
could aim it
pick
kind of at the table and the surrounding.
Door up at the bottom,
Remove
Jack.
your breath
Could you
weapon, each creature in the area?
flip it? So now it's only got one hinge. If it rolls up, it could roll straight over the bar.
Around it.
Does that make sense?
Sorry. say again.
I think I know what you mean, but I think it's probably going to be easier to smash out the other hinge.
Yeah, just smashing
And
it.
then
Yeah.
the thing will just be free floating.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hold
Let me
on.
just be able to move it.
You use your just size and shape. Cold range area. Is this cold?
I thought breath weapons was a cone of some kind.
Yeah,
Well, the cones and lines depends on.
15-foot range, but it doesn't. That's the range, how far it goes, but it doesn't tell you what shape it makes.
I'm pretty sure it will tell you on the race. It'll
Cone,
be a
yeah.
cone.
So it's like that.
But if they're in cover, it goes onto the. It would hit the
Mm.
table.
It would just
first.
hit the thing.
Yeah, I was just thinking if it could kind of.
You were thinking of like a fireball effect where you could drop something on it and it.
Yeah,
affect
Or
or
it
it'd
like-
around.
sweep over.
It would hit an area and go like that area. Do you
Something
know what I
like
mean?
fog cloud would reach around, or poison gas. There's a poison gas spell, isn't it? So yeah, as the door comes
Sorry.
away, Jax, it leans towards you, so it's out
Okay.
of its hinge completely.
All right. So I will sling the maul and try and like pull the door. So it's all. It will then leave the open area. So if I pull it to sort of right angles to the other door,
Yeah,
does that
yeah,
make sense?
yeah. 45 to go. Yeah, 45 to the other door. Yeah,
90. Yeah. So yeah, right.
yeah,
angle.
90. So yeah, cool. So you got it like that.
So we've got a door's width just with a bar across the middle.
Yeah.
Is Lou falling asleep?
I think she has gone to sleep.
Lou!
Lou!
No, it's all right. I'm not asleep.
Oh, we thought you were asleep.
It really looked like you were asleep.
It
there.
did.
So yeah, you pull the door open and
I get ready to shoot whoever stands up first.
you're confronted with this room and
Got the hinges off yet?
Yeah, the door's
I've got a
open.
door.
left across.
I've opened one
opened it.
side of it.
I must have dozed off then. I was sort of in the middle. I was like, so we're banging the door.
So you pull the door off its hinge, it comes away from the wall, and there is the space now open. Jackson now has the door at 90 degrees. You kind of take cover. Some spears fly through the gap, and you're about to roll for initiative, but that's where we're going to hold.
In fact, sorry, can I be just slightly awkward? So where I've got the door there,
Yeah.
can I now tip it on its side so we get some cover?
Yeah, yeah.
So like it will fill up the hole that I made in the other door, and then hopefully I'm getting lean against the bar
Yeah, yeah.
to sort of give us
Yeah,
half.
you're making a half barricade in the space where the other door was. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've got it. Yeah, yeah. No, that's absolutely fine. So at this point, you're about to roll for initiative. You're confronted by a room with a table on its side, several of these creatures that you've seen before. You can see just kind of ducking their heads up above, and that's where we're going to stop for today. And you're going to come back in straight into that battle for the next time, guys.
Sounds good.
Thanks for playing. Let's stop that.
Stop.
Stop.